We are live. Good
Good,
morning.
good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. Had a good birthday session with my partner's daughter yesterday. So it was time at the beach and birthday cakes and pool time and friends and yeah, loads of fun. So yeah,
Awesome.
feeling a little bit bleary eyed. And we had a few other celebrations. So the bubbles came out last night, and it was like this morning's a little bit hard to get up, but I'm looking forward to sharing our last day of, well, not last day, but just having a bit of a chat about pregnant mums and kids
Yeah.
and babies that we have experienced with treating this group in with sound healing and tuning forks,
Mm.
which I think's a really interesting group of people to be able to introduce sound to, because I know at times I've been a bit overwhelmed with treating kids within an osteopathic practice. They're on the go, they're busy, they're kind of moving here and moving there, and such inquisitive little beings. And with having used sound now within those treatments, I've I've really seen that sense of the child being even more inquisitive of, like, what's this thing that's vibrating, and I can hear it over here, because we're not going to just go, oh, chuck a tuning fork on a kid's head. They're going to be like, what's that? You
Yeah.
want to, as with a lot of people, you're introducing sound quite slowly, and you're wanting to bring it into their field. You're wanting to just get that sense of curiosity
Mm.
with this vibrating tuning fork, because kids were, I remember when my little niece was born, being encouraged to use the white noise sound to help them sleep, because that's the sound that they're kind of hearing in
Yeah.
utero, with the amount of noise that there must be when you're inside mummy's tummy, of digestion and the blood moving everywhere and pumping and the heart, and it must be quite a noisy 40 weeks inside mummy's tummy, I reckon. So there's
Yeah.
there's definitely a sense of sound that, I know there's other interesting CDs that I've been given, or I bought actually, in relation to using sound to encourage developmental in utero. So whether you're a pregnant mum and introducing sound to a pregnant mum, whether you are a new baby or whether you're a child, there's a really, really good ways in introducing sound um, to these people, which is again quite a profound situation. I remember you telling me about, when you were at a festival, Bali Spirit Festival, there was a young kid that really hurt
Oh,
themselves,
yeah.
and that interesting way of how mummy was holding the baby and you introduced the tuning fork to the mother's arm, which
Yeah.
then the kid picked up on that, and that child that was in a bit of a hysterical state,
Yes.
calmed them down.
Yeah. It's beautiful because bone, transmitting through the bone is far deeper and quicker than other ways, and it's kind of counterintuitive. You would think, oh, surely to the ear would be the fastest, but actually, it produces such a deeper result with communicating through the skeleton. It's
Mm.
beautiful, and yeah, she was
So
completely beyond herself. Yeah.
in relation to the ear that you were saying, we were taught at osteopathy school, when we were examining people's hearing in relation to utilising a tuning fork, in that we were advised to carry a tuning fork in our testing kit.
Mm.
One, to see whether somebody has got a hearing problem that's coming, that is actually uh, um, a true hearing loss, or is it that they're blocked within the wax within their ear. But this
Mm.
bony protuberance just up behind the ear is a cracking point for bony application point for that tuning fork area. So that's a really, really helpful bony landmark there to introduce the tuning fork to for healing. I found it's really, really a great
Yeah, and
point.
that's actually the same area that they use for heroin addiction, using sound,
Oh,
for
right.
Dr. Meg Patterson's work. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
So whilst we're here, we'll talk about mums and babies, etc., as well. But it's just come to my mind in relation to talking about the tuning forks, and we've had a couple of questions about tuning forks.
Mm.
It seems that there's quite a variety of different tuning forks that you can buy. Is that right?
Yep.
Online?
Yep.
Can you get them on eBay? I don't know.
Yeah, you can get them on eBay. You can get them on Amazon, and
Right.
you know, basically, I think it's fair to say that you can split them into personal quality and practitioner quality. Personal quality, you know, you can buy cheap as you like, but what's important to know, like if you're not already working with sound, you may not appreciate, say, like I remember right at the get-go, before I really locked in a really good quality supplier, I bought a test set of forks from India. I actually bought it off eBay, and the metal was really, like the finish on it was like pocky. It was very, very cheap. The frequency, I've even bought little chimes to compare the quality with what I already, use. And the what you're looking for as a practitioner is imagine you're taking someone from a traumatic state, or they're in pain or disharmonious in some way, and your goal is to essentially relax them, and then you can really treat them and obviously more deeply work. And if you've got something which is a cheap set of forks off eBay or something, you'll strike it, and the sustain for that fork may be really, really short, so 10, 15, 20 seconds. But if you're working with a practitioner quality fork, you are going to have a far longer sustain to that sound. And why does that matter? Well, if you're a patient, you're lying down, you're receiving forks, and you've got someone whacking a tuning fork every 20 seconds versus every minute and a half, your capacity to really open and relax and downregulate your nervous system and ultimately receive a really deep, beautiful session is limited in a way, because you'll be listening and hearing that whack. I mean, I've devised a special leg activator because or a special way of using one, because the ones that are on the market aren't that great. And you've got to ask yourself, well, I think about, as a practitioner, I think about, how can I make this session the most amazing for the client, in the best possible way. I put myself in their position and I go, okay, I want to relax and I don't want to be disturbed. I want to be able to go deep during this session. I want to be able to open my body, soften, to receive the frequencies, keep my energy channels open, and all of that. And so that guides me then to choose quality forks, which, in addition to sustaining the sound for, a minute and a half, sometimes longer, depending on what the frequency is, that also you are getting a frequency which is precisely tuned. Like when I was teaching in the States to 2017, I thought, I'm just going to check out this company. They're selling chimes at a frequency that I'm interested in. I'll check them out. And the quality was just like, you strike it and it goes ding. And then, it's pretty much stopped after about 5 seconds. And, I compare it to the chimes I have and my supplier provides, and they go on for minutes. And, and I got up on my app, my tuning app, to check the frequency, and it wasn't even the right frequency. It was like 1 or 2 hertz off. And I'm like, well, sometimes that 1 or 2 hertz difference can be huge. My practitioner quality forks, my supplier, he works to 1,000th of a hertz. So that's 0.0000 hertz accuracy. And some of my forks, I need that, because I'm providing, exact harmonics. And, if you've got that level of accuracy, then you know that you're giving the client the best possible, session. So for those,
I guess it's like, sorry.
Yeah, no, for those who are asking that question, as a practitioner, it's worth buying practitioner quality forks.
I'm thinking it's like a violinist that buys initially maybe a bit of a shitty violin that, you know, doesn't resonate particularly well. It might be not well made. It might be a difference between a gut string and a metal string. Opposed to wow, we need to buy a higher quality violin here because we're now going up within the quality of playing, or good broadband and not good broadband, Wi-Fi connection. You know, it's like getting that whole sense of, it's like a glitchy tuning fork opposed to a tip-top high streaming broadband or something. I don't know. Interesting.
And also the forks that we're offering for the Cellular Sonics online course, they have a custom designed protective coating on the weights, and this means that, you know, on cheaper forks the shine comes off, you know, and over time it's like for clinic use you want them looking smart for as long as you're using them and beyond, you know. So I mean, at the end of the day you get what you pay for, and you know, when you want to anchor in quality, it's, you know, I'm not expecting to ever replace my forks. They're good for my entire life, and you work that over a period of your life. It's like, well, it's cheap at the price.
Looking at it for a lifetime use. And using it a lot, as you and I have, definitely, and traveling with them. You know, you can go anywhere with them. Oh, well, that's really good to know. Thank you for just reinforcing that. I kind of now get that whole sense of, you know, an old car and a good car. You know, what would you prefer? What's smoother? What's nicer? Okay,
that's it.
So back to the pregnant mums, kids, babies. I think it's what's one of the first special senses to develop in relation to a baby in utero? Their sound is their hearing apparatus develop really, 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 really early on in utero.
The first sense, isn't it?
Yeah. So that sense of introducing sounds to a baby as they are developing in utero, I think is really beautiful. We need to consider where the application of the tuning fork is. We need to be mindful that there are certain times through pregnancy where mum is slightly more vulnerable, which we could use generically within the first month. I think within the first trimester, not the month, the trimester. I think your Sound Healing Association suggests not to use tuning forks in that period of time. Is that right?
Yeah, the Therapeutic Sound Association. And there are, you know, it's really important to observe those things. People don't realize, you know, sometimes when they're using tuning forks, that because it's so profound and it can have really deep benefits, it's good to know, you know, those kind of recommendations from a professional body.
Which I think we've included a lot of those different recommendations, and recommendations that are also potentially contraindications. Why would you not use these tuning forks? When would you not use them? Like, would you use them if somebody had a traumatic fracture? Oh yeah, chuck the tuning fork on that. You know, maybe a great diagnostic tool that there has been a fracture, but certainly not from a healing aspect of nice therapeutic, relaxing, let's get the bone, encouraging the bone healing. So I think that's really important with this education that we're sharing, whether it's with mums and babies and kids, which are more of a specific group of people that we're treating that are in full-blown developmental shift within their life, whether you're a pregnant mum, of, you know, how your body changes so much through that 10 months, 40 weeks, that shift of your posture, the shift of the amount of liquid inside your body, the shift of hormones. It can be incredibly helpful for ladies that have lower back discomfort, upper back discomfort. Even once that lady's had their baby, what then happens to the posture? a lady's posture then really shifts, and they're looking down a lot to baby breastfeeding, they're bending over a lot to change the baby's nappy, they're picking it up, putting it down, there's a lot of bending forwards, and they haven't got that abdominal strength at that time to support. So there is some really great times, beneficial times to help new mum with that sense of calming, with that sense of discomfort, that shift, that transition that's such a huge time for mum, and the baby with coming into the world of being overloaded with a variety of different stimulants for the baby, and found that the tuning forks can actually be very, very calming.
And it's also something that's lovely if you are, if say you came to us as a patient, and then maybe you take a tuning fork home with you, and if you're using that during pregnancy and then you give birth obviously to the child, the baby's already going to recognize that. They're going to go, oh, I had that when I was in my mummy's tummy. And it's such a beautiful way of helping them feel that safety, coming back to that place of feeling at home and relaxation. And that's really beautiful in the formative weeks and months of a baby's life. So it's a beautiful thing to bring in during that time.
Definitely, especially if you've got a baby that's had a traumatic, baby and mum that's had a traumatic initial journey coming into life, whether it's a challenging vaginal delivery or a challenging emergency cesarean or however that is. That little baby might have a bit of a headache, and that shift in such a fluid body that baby's at, that introduction to sound can be relaxing, and it can be very helpful and quite profound. As you say, sound is profound. Has been really influential with treating kids big time, and also disabled people. With that wow, they can hear, and there's often a real connection with sound with disabilities.
Oh, absolutely. I have a dear friend in the States, and she's working with paraplegic, quadriplegic, brain injury, autism, ADHD, and they're so, I think, having met quite a lot of different kids and adults with disabilities, they are super tuned with sound because other senses may not be so operative. It's like give them that, and they really respond in a deeper way, because they're more active in their inner world, perhaps. And it's a very beautiful tool to add to any session.
Interesting. And any other scenarios that you would like to share? Any testimonials that you have other than that screaming child at the festival that time that I'd mentioned? Do you have any other testimonials and pregnant mums and kids and babies?
Yeah, I've worked with a lady who was pregnant in Mexico. She was in the weeks. I only met her sort of just before the birth, so it was a couple of weeks prior, and she had a lot of lower back pain, of course. And I was giving her the one of the forks to help with her pain, and she just really, really loved it and felt so much benefit from it. Also worked with a baby who was having real difficulty getting to sleep. And you mentioned earlier about the curiosity of the child, and it's amazing. It's like when a child, is laying there and is upset, it's like that, their energy's all over the place in a way, but you suddenly place something on their body and they're like, oh, what's that? And they're feeling it, and they're wondering what it is, and it immediately helps bring them into that inner sort of alignment and attunement, and from that place they're starting to attune, and then the tuning fork can work its magic, and a crying baby is pretty soon off to sleep. In Russia they've been working with one of these frequencies since the 1940s, and primarily for insomnia, and getting amazing results. So these are, I always think about, how do I create the best result for patients? You know, I want to use frequencies which are medically researched, scientifically shown to be giving you the best results. And that's a great thing. You know, it's like, it's best to, you know, get the, you know, the best possible outcome that you can. So that's why we love sharing this course, because it's really helping people, you know, move beyond just sound healing being a nice relaxation, but actually that deeper structural and cellular level transformation that's possible.
Yeah, which is, I think it's really coming from a more alternative therapy into a lot more mainstream now, which is really interesting transition, I think, into, you know, that sense of vibration, that sense of everything vibrates at a cellular level, and getting into the Bruce Liptons, I think it is, getting into those, you know, the energetics at a deeper level in our body, which we can be so cerebrally unconscious of, because we get so cerebral in our life, don't we? We get so up in our head with our work, our play, with shit that's going on in life. And having that sense of consciousness, which is hard for a lot of people, I'm really so present to in actually having a bit. I sat on the beach yesterday, and it was it was really busy, and I'm like, you know what, I kind of don't really want to be here. We gave ourselves a big kind of social distance and sat in the middle of this big patch that was like no one around us, not many around us, like a good 5-6 meters away from us. And the rest of them went off to the beach, and I just sat there quietly and was just like, from having been in COVID situation in a really lovely, I felt very nurtured state during that time, into then, oh my God, this kind of overload of integrating people, just having that sense of the external buzz of everything, and just checking in with how it was for me there, being there in a slightly uncomfortable situation, and just checking in with my body and just going, oh, okay, just time out, check out, even if it is busy around everywhere else. It was really nice just to check in and tune in to my own self, and really get that internal vibration, that not metaphysical, energetic state and feeling.
And if you think, like, I think I briefly mentioned it this week during one of the videos, talking about, if we look at society and how we have over time conditioned ourselves, or being conditioned to not express our emotions, to not express our feelings, to not make noise, you know, and when you give a tuning fork to the body, it starts moving energy, it starts to vibrate, and it starts to help those energies which have been stuck, parked, like, oh, I don't want to feel that, and or not, now's not the time, or couldn't possibly make that noise, you know. It's like sound can really help open that door. And, you know, we also, through the course, we share other ways in which your patient can be proactive, and it really helps empower them to realize that, you know, they can really be a deeper part of their healing process, you know, stepping out of the mind, feeling more awareness in the body. So so we're really excited to have you come and check us out.
Yeah, absolutely. Come and check us out. Come and join in on this course. We've got a variety of written information and videos that we have created. Videos that are helping you understand about the tuning forks. Not that you're just going to pick up a tuning fork and crack it and here we go. Because I've been in a couple of situations with transitioning from different tuning forks, and you've got to be really mindful when you're in a nice, calming, relaxing, present treatment of how you bash that fork. So we've really gone step by step to guide you into utilizing the tuning forks, understanding about the different frequencies, trying to bring in as many research papers for all of you fantastic geeks out there that like a bit of research-based, scientifically based information. We've got quite a big glossary at the back of research papers that Eeshi-Ra has specifically found. I found the odd one, but with Eeshi-Ra's history of sound and love for sound, she's certainly right up on that. So we're here for any questions that you have. I believe that we're going to come on next week and just share a little bit more information. You'll see that there is a click to the landing page where there is some further information and a couple of different videos that we have up on there. So pop onto that landing page. It'd be really good for you just to have a look, because we've got benefits, we've got why you're using it, more information. And Eeshi-Ra and myself, we've added some fantastic bonus freebies that you're going to get of earthing, MP3s, of my anatomy education for breathing, which we feel is so very important for checking into resting and digesting. So there's all sorts of freebies that you got in there, and you've got a lifelong opportunity of using these tuning forks. Yeah, you might feel that they're a little bit costly, but they are high quality, and that's what we're aiming at. We want for you guys to be high quality, well educated about tuning forks, and combining. We're integrating different tuning fork and healing modalities to get the best for your patients.
Yeah, and Rachel's amazing. She's a brilliant soul, you know, with so much anatomical wisdom. So she's really helping guide you with the specific muscles, the different areas on the spine, different points. And we also share about meridian points, you know, for inflammation, for pain, for grounding. You know, we incorporate also a grounding integration completion protocol, so that your patient doesn't just walk out the door and all floaty, and then, you know, maybe they have an accident, or, you know, it's like sound is ether, so we have to ground at the end. So this is an important part of what we're sharing. And, you know, like we're talking about, you know, it's all about quality and making you the best practitioner you can be, so that your patients are going to be so happy walking out that door, and they're going to be telling their friends, and their friends are going to be telling their friends. And
they do go to talk about it. Yeah, because it's unique, it's something new, and especially now, you know, more and more people are open to it. You know, they're looking for those answers. Okay, well, fire away with questions. We're here to help, and we'll look forward to maybe seeing you next week on a few occasions. We're going to pop in and just check in with you guys. So all the best, take care of yourself, and have a good weekend. Yeah, thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. Much love. See ya. See ya. Bye. Bye.